Hey everyone, it's Marcus, the conduit of Unbroken, walking on new ground. I'm back with my fifth video in regards to what is real. What is real? As I started to write the book, I thought everything that was real evolved around karma. I write about in my book past lives and bring me maybe, karma from karmatic energy from the past into this life. As I started to write the book and go down deep rabbit holes, to be honest, I've become more of a proponent of determinism, that we live in a deterministic existence, and that everything that we're going through, that we've gone through, and that we're going to go through has already been set in motion. It's a plan. God has a plan more than God rolls the dice. So that comes down to free will. And that's another topic that I write about in Unbroken, Walking on New Ground. My theist friends are 100% proponents of we have free will as agents, that we are making all the choices on a moment-to-moment basis that lead up to what's going on in our lives. Now, I had always believed that karma was what my life was about, as my life was saved in a similar way than I don't want to give the spoiler alert again, because I would like for you to read the book and hear and read it here and not hear it through the videos. But I felt that there was an incredible correlation between how my life was saved and a big incident that happened 6 years prior to my life being saved. And I was always like, oh, karma. Well, how does karma develop? Well, I would say that karma develops through freedom of choice, our choice to behave in certain ways. I don't know if I really believe that to be true anymore. If you look at some of the research that's been done by the leading brain scientists, they really question whether, we as agents have 100% autonomy on our free will. I've come to the conclusion that we have free will over our perceptions of what is occurring. I know it might be a little tough to grab onto for some people. But, in any given circumstance, we definitely have the choice of how to feel about whatever the external stimuli is. As I was writing Unbroken, I was teeter-tottering on the concept of the simulation theory and being in a simulation. And after writing the book, I 100,000% believe that we are in a simulation. I write about some of the experiences that make me lean in that direction. Universal communication transcending synchronicity. And Sigmund Freud writes, one day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. And I totally agree with that. Somewhere deep down inside of me, I knew what was going to happen. From almost childhood, I felt it almost like on a DNA level. Now, I couldn't tell you what exactly I was going to experience, but I could feel it. I could sense it. I knew what was coming. And it wasn't until I was injured, and actually after I started to regain my mobility, where people would, come up to me and say, wow, that's amazing what you've done, or, this very inspirational. And then I started to see that it wasn't the accident that people were seeing. What people were seeing and acknowledging was my recovery from the accident, my attitude about the accident. I could see it in their eyes. And that's when I guess it would be called precognition really set in. that I knew that this was going to happen. So the big question is, how did I know such a thing? How could I know unless it had been written in the stars and it was something that was going to happen? Absolutely. There was no change in it, but somewhere deep inside me, almost on a cellular DNA level, I knew that this was going to happen, and it did, and it's in the book. So what's real is really a big question. What's ever real to you, I guess, is what's real. All opinions may vary, but as you go through the book, you're going to read that I firmly believe that we are in a simulation, and my big question that I go back and forth with some of my most intellectual friends is that question of free will. You know, I believe that it's all deterministic, but, you know, if you take away the concept of free will, what are you left with? So some deep contemplation for this video and a little bit more insight to what's in the book. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you staying tuned. Please share it and stay tuned for the videos that will be coming shortly. So until that time, take care, and may you be well.